My beloved child, come, sit with me for a moment. I see how tired you are. I see the questions swirling in your mind and the weight pressing on your heart. You've been trying so hard to hold everything together, to make sense of the things that feel so broken and confusing right now. But today, I want to give you something: peace. I want you to take a deep breath and lean into me. Let go of the tension you've been carrying and just breathe. You don't have to figure everything out right now. You don't have to have all the answers. That's my job. All I need from you is this: trust me. I know that's not always easy. I know how hard it is when things don't seem to be going the way you hoped or planned. I hear the questions in your prayers. Why is this happening? Why now? What if it doesn't get better? I see the fear, the frustration, and the doubt that sometimes creep in. And yet, my child, even in those moments, I need you to know this: I have a plan for you. Let me remind you of someone whose life didn't make sense at first: Joseph. You remember his story, don't you? I gave him dreams of greatness, but instead of rising immediately to a position of honor, he was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison for something he didn't even do. Can you imagine how he must have felt? I'm sure there were nights Joseph cried out to me, asking, "Why, God? Why is this happening to me?" But even in those dark moments, I was with him. I never left him. I was working behind the scenes, positioning him exactly where he needed to be. What Joseph didn't know at the time was that every setback, every disappointment, and every injustice was part of my bigger plan. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. I was preparing him to save not only his family, but an entire nation. And when the time was right, I lifted him out of that prison and placed him in the palace. The same brothers who betrayed him had to come to him for help. And do you know what he said? "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph trusted my plan, even when it didn't make sense. And because of his faith, I turned what seemed like a disaster into a destiny. My child, I need you to see that I'm doing the same thing for you. I know your heart aches sometimes. I know you wonder if things will ever get better. But just like Joseph, you're not forgotten. I'm shaping you, preparing you, and positioning you for something greater than you can imagine. You may not see the full picture yet, but that doesn't mean I'm not working. You just need to trust me. I know you're scared sometimes. I know you look at your circumstances and wonder how it's all going to work out. You feel like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, unsure of whether you'll fall or fly. But let me remind you, I am holding you. You will not fall. I've got you in the palm of my hand, and I will not let you go. I need you to stop worrying about tomorrow. I need you to stop running through all the what-ifs in your mind. You're trying so hard to control things that were never meant for you to carry. I know you want answers, but right now, what you need most is me. Come closer, sit with me a little longer. Let my presence be your comfort. You don't have to have everything figured out today. Just focus on this. Trust my plan. You see, my plans for you are good. They always have been, and they always will be. Even the things you don't understand right now, the delays, the disappointments, the detours, they're all part of something bigger. I know it doesn't always feel that way, especially when the road feels long and uncertain. But I promise you, I'm leading you somewhere beautiful. You don't have to worry about the details. That's my job. I'm the one weaving the pieces of your life together. I'm the one opening doors you can't even see yet. And when it's time, you'll understand why this season was necessary. But for now, I need you to let go. Stop holding on so tightly to your plans and surrender them to me. I know what you're hoping for. I know the dreams you're afraid to speak out loud. I know the desires of your heart. And I also know the things you're afraid of losing. But hear me, my child. You won't lose anything that is meant for you. What I have for you is yours, and no one can take it away. I see the tears you cry when no one else is watching. I see the way you try to stay strong, even when you feel like you're falling apart inside. I see how hard you're fighting to keep your faith, when it feels like nothing is changing. But let me remind you of something important. I am working even in the waiting. Just because you can't see what I'm doing doesn't mean I'm not moving. I'm arranging things for you. I'm preparing opportunities, aligning relationships, and opening doors that no one can shut. You don't have to be afraid. I am with you, and I will never leave you. I've never failed you before, and I'm not about to start now. You're not walking this path alone. I'm right here beside you, holding your hand and guiding your steps. Even when you don't feel me, I'm there. Even when you can't see me, I'm working. I know you want answers. I know you want clarity. But sometimes, what you need most isn't answers. It's peace. And that's what I'm offering you today. Peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Peace that isn't shaken by uncertainty. My child, let me carry the weight you've been carrying. It's too heavy for you, but it's not too heavy for me. Give me your fears, your worries, and your doubts. Place them in my hands and leave them there. I promise you this. I will never let you down. My plans for you are greater than you can imagine. I know the dreams I've placed in your heart. I gave them to you, and I will be the one to bring them to life. It might not look the way you expect. It might not happen when you think it should. But it will happen in my perfect time and in my perfect way. You just need to trust me. I love you more than you can imagine, and I'm not going anywhere. So rest in my love. Rest in my promises. Rest in the truth that I am for you, not against you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to trust the one who does. And that's me. Trust my plans. With all my love. Your God.